Welcome to Nostalgic Chats Podcast. We are your hosts and the OG crew. Danny,
Harry.
Carmelo.
Chad,
Wilson.
All right. Well, welcome to this episode, this brand new, spanking new episode where we talk about technology, our experiences with it, how much has changed from back then till now, and like where we going from here on out. So I'm gonna start it off with Chad.
Yo, hold on. I like how you started that episode spanking new. Go ahead, Chad.
Yeah.
When I think of like old tech that I had, like nostalgic, I would definitely say one would be like a Walkman. And it's just so funny because like, when you look at how like technology has evolved, like in terms of like what kids have now with like Spotify, streaming services and things like that, I just remember having like a Walkman and a tape. And if you wanted to hear a certain song, you had to fast forward it or rewind it to get to that certain point where now you just press a button, they replay your song. It's just insane how crazy, like, it's just insane how crazy technology is and how it has evolved. And going from the Walkman to the CD player, where a lot of people, when you wanted to hear certain songs, you had to legit buy the entire CD to hear it, or you had to get the single CD to hear it. And you used to have the CD book in your pocket. You're walking around with this big bulky thing, which was crazy back then. I feel like for me, those were like the two things that really, really stood out in terms of like tech. Also to the evolution of like the iPod Shuffle, the regular iPod, where you fully focused on music. You could buy the songs that you wanted, and the songs were super cheap. I remember back then when you bought like the CD. I'm probably dating myself, but like they were like, I think like $5.99 for like the singles. It was like crazy. So I would say for me, when it comes to like early tech and like the evolution of it, it would probably be like the music aspect of tech. Not that much of a tech guy, so I'll pass it to one of them. Wilson, what about you? What would you say is some of the stuff for you?
We lost him.
Yeah, he's gone.
the CPR on Wilson.
Nicolas Cage, gone in 60 seconds.
Yeah.
What?
All right.
Am I
Wilson,
next?
what would
Yeah.
Wilson?
Yeah.
What are some of the tech things that you would say is this is crazy, man?
I catch bad time, man. That's all.
Close that Pornhub browser, man. Come on, man.
Word.
The Lady
Delete the
Boys is
cookies,
what keeps
bro.
me going. See,
He said, delete the history and the cookies, bro.
Yeah, delete them cookies,
And the
man.
cachet.
Yeah,
I don't
they
know,
keep the
delete it.
engine rev.
Harry,
I know
Harry
it's
said we
not.
lost them.
Yeah, we lost him.
let's see, what did I have? Like a cassette player. I had a cassette player first. That was the shit. I used to buy them whack ass fucking bootleg cassettes from Third Avenue, which still sounded good. I think I had that. What the fuck was that rapper, man? Nas? No, Mace. What?
You said Nas.
I don't remember their fucking names, man. Those guys are trash anyway.
But they go already.
That, the VCRs, I went through a lot of VCRs, and it was like, oh shit, it got 4 heads, high five. Woo. I didn't know any of that shit, man.
Hey, yo, 4 heads?
You need the one with auto tracking.
Hey,
Yeah,
yo.
auto tracking.
tracking.
Yeah, the auto tracking. You was like some sort of high ballers, like, yo, my shit got auto track, son.
You don't have to do it manually.
Those were some good stuff back then. A lot of people ain't gonna know any of this shit.
Yo, but
music,
back then,
players, yeah.
but back then, in addition to a VCR playing like movies, it was necessary. Not for everybody, but it was necessary in my house because when I wanted to play either PlayStation or Nintendo 64, I had old ass TVs where I needed something to plug the three wires, the red,
Oh,
The
color
video,
was?
red, yellow,
yeah,
and
Yellow,
white.
white.
Yeah,
red and white for
the
the audio,
composite. Yep.
and yellow.
Yeah,
for
so you would have to plug it into the VCR, and then from the VCR go to the TV. So you used to have to have it in VCR in order to play. Because
Mm.
I never had it.
The
Yeah,
line
well,
is
now,
the video line.
yeah.
Where you
Yep.
change the line, the source.
So it was a necessity to have a VCR to play video games.
No, yeah, it was good. Luckily I had TVs that had them stupid colors in the front or in the back, or that little ass, what was it, 13, 14-inch TV I used to have. Used to play fucking Halo 1 on that shit.
Said 13 inches.
Hey,
Hey, that's
sounds
right.
like a good time.
Nice up in your ass, Chad. Make that shit pop and then gape it. What you think?
Wow.
Back,
Wow.
back to tech. What is it? The CD players, the ones that had the shockproof. Because in the beginning, those things, any little movement, the song either stopped or skipped. And that
Yeah,
was
that's true.
mad fucking annoying. Then you had your CD players that had like a 10, 15, 20-second anti-skip bullshit that had built up and it would like devour your battery. So,
I had one that had 5
those were fun.
minutes.
Yo,
Yeah,
really
5
quick.
minutes? Dang.
Oh,
Oh, like
really
shit.
Even when it comes to tech, when you think about it, do y'all remember like how like what people sell on the train has evolved? Remember they used to walk around selling batteries on the train
yeah.
Yep.
for your CD players
Yep.
or your Walkmans? It was like crazy back then.
Yeah,
They-
they were
they
never
were
there
doing
when I
that.
needed them.
They were hustling.
Yeah,
That's what
facts.
they were
That's true. And now
And
what they
whenever you
selling,
needed the
candy.
batteries, you would never see them.
Yeah.
But
Yep,
when, you
exactly.
were good
When
with
you were
batteries.
good, yeah, when your battery health
Yeah.
was good,
That's when they were
that's
all
when
over
you see
the
them.
place. Yep.
Yeah.
Sons of bitches. But
They used to come through with the batteries and the yo-yos and shit.
Oh, the
and- you remember the
yo-yos.
yo-yos with the colors?
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Walk the
With the
dog,
toys and shit.
There you go.
Walk the
Yep.
dog. The elevator. I remember
Yeah,
that.
was the swing.
I gotta try to walk the dog on Chad's penis.
Hey, yo.
What?
One time.
Dog on dog.
That's it. Dog
Is
on
it
dog.
dog on dog? Nah, I need the buns.
Dog.
What is it?
Yeah, he said you need the buns.
What is it? They had them whack ass headphones that it was just like the little cushion on the outside.
Oh,
Oh,
For
yeah,
whatever
the
reason, they
99
still
cent
sounded
ones.
good. Yeah. It was them Kobe's.
Yeah,
the
Kobe
Kobe,
with a C.
Yeah. Not the Kobe that passed away. That guy's a legend. But I don't know what else there is, man. Maybe what the Microsoft Zoom was also like some pretty good shit. I prefer that over the iPad. What is it, the iPods? What the fuck
iPod.
are they called? iPods? Yeah,
iPod.
music iPods?
iPods.
Yeah, the Zoom was good.
Yeah. You had one, right, Harry? I
The
remember
Zoom,
you had
yeah.
one.
I had one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I just want something different to try something else. I got tired of
Yep.
iPods for a while.
Everybody was on that bandwagon. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Y'all can keep your Apple shit. What is it? Oh, sister. I don't know. There's a lot of shit back then. Like
Yeah.
the Nintendo
Uh-huh.
shit. They were doing kind of VR before anybody.
The
Something
Virtual Boy.
Yeah, the
Virtual
Virtual
Boy.
Boy.
Retro boy.
That was another thing that they would do.
I tried it once at the
Same.
Toys R Us in Manhattan.
Same.
I think I was with you probably.
We probably were together trying that shit out at Toys R Us.
Yeah, that's around the time the
And
32X came
Funko
out,
Land,
I think.
too.
And Funko Land, the one in Manhattan.
Yep.
Man said
No,
Funko
we also
Land.
had it in third too.
There was one up
It
there.
was
we had-
KB Toys. It was KB Toys. KB Toys.
Yep, there was one up there. There's a lot of places. There's a lot of things that we have tried out.
Yep.
As
Yeah.
for any other tech, I'm not gonna really remember anything that crazy other than the stuff we grew up with.
I could fill in the blanks right now.
ahead.
Like, if you remember back then, if you didn't have a cable box, the TV was, the antenna was the only thing you had to fix, so you could fix the signal. It used to look so grainy. You used to always move it, and then you ask somebody, "Okay, move it now." Okay, now it looks good. And then you had to change. You had to get up to change the channel every time.
Yep.
No remote. Yeah.
Yep.
And for the volume, some commercials was dumb loud. You got to get up, turn it down a bit because that shit was blasted.
Yep.
And then what happened? People used to have antennas on top of the roof, bring the wire
Should get better
down,
signal.
and then you got to
Yeah.
yell out the window. All right, it looks good now. and stuff like that. As I keep holding it. Yo, people used to put coat hangers and everything on that shit on the TVs.
Yep.
Yeah, and then
aluminum foil,
Yeah.
all sorts of shit.
and like Carmelo was saying about the VCR thing, to hook up the Nintendo. Back then my TV didn't have the color wise as well, the composites.
Mm.
So
you had to
it
use
had like
that to the
it had two screws.
VCR?
It had
and
no,
then
it had
you
two
the
screws.
coax going out.
Yeah, it had.
You had the two screws, and it has
So
this
that's
little
even
adapter
older.
that
That's
you
an
use the
even
cable-
older
yeah.
TV. Yep.
Yeah, I had the two screws on the Nintendo brought a little adapter that you hook up the RF switch to it.
That it had the Y,
Mhm.
the Y connection.
Yeah.
It was like the
Mhm.
2 wires, but then you had the other wire coming down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you connect it to
So
the
you
RF
would-
switch, and you put it on channel
Yep.
3.
You would connect those to the TV. You screw those in, and then it had a tail, and then that's where you plug in your Super Nintendo or Nintendo, whatever.
Yep, that was the only way to play it back then.
I
And,
don't know
and,
if
that wasn't the best picture back then either.
yeah, I don't know if any of you guys had or seen the mini disc players, that they were small,
The MD players.
the MD players.
That was a little bit before the
Yeah,
iPods.
I remember that.
That's PSP, right?
No,
the PSP
was before that,
it was
but the
like
disc
it
almost
was
looked like
like
it. It
it,
was like
but
PSP.
they were a
Sony
little
made
bit
it as
bigger.
well. It was Sony as well.
Yeah, and you could record off the stereo or record anywhere off of it on the PC and put the songs in there. And it was like it was small. It was like a little box.
Yo, I remember when you had a Zenith stereo. Remember the brand Zenith?
Oh yeah, that was name brand.
The dual cassette. You could record from cassette to cassette. Back then, like you could make a copy
Yep.
out of it. It's like, I don't know. There were times waiting for the music on the radio, stuff like that. And then like, the song come on when you cut the radio on, the DJ's talking. And I don't know if y'all remember, they had the VCRs with the top loader that you put the VHS on the top and push it down.
And it'll go in. Yep.
I only seen those
VCRs.
in school in the classrooms.
Yeah,
And when
I
they
used
used to
to
play
like
with-
those. I used to like those more than the regular ones because they looked more fancy.
Yeah.
Back
Like, they
then, they
were-
used to make things to last. Like
Yeah,
I know we had
you-
like a
You open them,
Go
the
ahead.
inside, they got mad stuff inside. Like what the thing that goes inside to make it, all those chips or whatever. Now you open up these new tech stuff, it's kind of empty inside.
Yeah, they were made like a
Yeah.
tank, and they were heavy
Yeah.
as shit.
everything's disposable now. I
Yeah,
remember we had this big Sylvania TV. It was
Oh, I
it's
remember
like
that
one of those in a wooden box. Yeah, it was a fucking wooden box that you
That
put
shit
on the
was
floor.
a furniture piece itself.
Yeah, and it was maybe like less than 25 inches, but back then that was big. And
It was
then
like 200
it had-
pounds.
Yeah, it had a built-in speaker. Yeah, bro, we had when I was little, there was a fire in our apartment, and a lot of shit burned down, and that fucking TV survived the fire, bro.
Yeah.
And we used that TV till I was like in my 20s, and we
Damn.
eventually threw it away because it's like mad heavy, and the speaker was done, like, but everything was made to last back then.
Yo, what was
And
those
then-
TVs that were mad tall with the big ass screen?
Oh, there's the
plastic?
projection TV.
The
projection
projection
TVs.
TVs. Yes, they were mad expensive. I remember
and then that you would touch the screen, and it was like
there was like wavy lines on it when you got closer,
yeah,
right?
yep,
Go away your nails, right?
yep.
It was like a
Yep.
plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And going back, I remember the Walkmans. If you had the cheaper ones, I think it was you only had stop, play, and rewind.
Yeah, it had no forward.
You only had three. You had three
It had no
buttons. Yep.
forward. And some of them didn't even have a
Yep.
radio.
Yep. Yep. That was the cheap ones. And then you also had the headphones that were AM, FM. That it was just that you put it on
Yes,
with
it
a
was
big
just
ass
a
antenna
headphone.
coming out the
And it
top.
was just
Yeah.
it was the radio only.
Oh, you know which ones
Yeah.
I used to hate? The ones that had the knob where you turn like this. That
For the
it
volume?
used to, it used to mess up so
Oh yeah,
easily
yep.
that
Yeah.
then you don't hear nothing. You're like, fuck, where is it?
No,
Or
that
it didn't
was
move
the-
anymore.
That was the cord of the headphones that you had to be moving in like so you could hear
Yes.
both sides.
Yeah.
They used
Yeah.
to mess up. Yeah. I don't know if y'all remember what was it? Their movies used to come on a big ass disc. I think it was a laser
Laserdisc,
disc. I don't know if y'all
yeah.
heard of that. It was like a big DVD.
It was like a vinyl.
It was like it was the
Record.
size of a record. Yeah.
Vinyl record.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
Yeah,
but then
speaking of-
when, yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. So
Not,
then you had like
mhm.
computers. You had, I remember, I had the big ass floppies,
Yes, the big
the
ones.
big ass floppy disk. Then you went to the smaller ones, right? To the what you call the small the hard drive, the hard disks.
The hard disk.
You went from the floppy to the hard disk, and then you went to the to the flash drives. Like the way technology is keeps on
the
going
thumb
up.
drives that people use now.
Yeah, the thumb drive. There you go. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Now everything is cloud based.
Yeah, it's like, and it's crazy because we went from what was it, the records to CDs? No, it's records to cassettes. Because cassettes were out for a very long time, if y'all remember. And then CDs, nobody could afford a CD player back then until it
Yeah, but
became more affordable.
Wasn't like those 8-track, like a cassette, but
8-track,
bigger,
yes.
like way bigger.
The
8-track
You
tapes.
can't rewind or forward those.
Yeah, I remember just popping them in, and then the big ass vinyl records.
It has 4 sections, those tapes, and in those 4 sections, there's a few songs in each. So you have to skip the section, and that song will be on, like, let's say, like 4 sides. Like if you pick B, it has 4 different songs there. So you gotta wait for that song to come on when you click B. That's the only way, you know. And you really can't record off the radio on those tapes either. It was like, you really can't do much on those. So the cassette was a big step up. And yo, why they worried about piracy? People used to record the radio and off the VCR on the
That's
TV
true.
movies and stuff. And now
That's
they're so
true.
messed up on that. We used to make our own movies at home with
That's
those
Yeah,
6-hour
because
tapes.
Um,
Record on EP mode.
that's because now they want every penny to make every penny they can.
Yeah. They used to sell a lot more too.
I still make my own movies.
Hey,
In 4K now though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's crazy now. Like we don't even have a device that we carry for music. We just use our phone for that.
yep.
Hey,
Mhm.
listen, also, please, if you like what you're hearing, subscribe, like, share, let us know what you want to hear from us. Leave us a comment, let us know what you guys want to hear. All right, go ahead. My fault, Harry.
It's fine. Like that. But then when we got the cable box, it was a game changer. We didn't need the antenna anymore. I remember, what was it? It used to be called Cablevision. And they used to
Yeah,
have like the
Cablevision.
rainbow package. You get more. That's when we got
I
introduced to
remember
like
the rainbow pack.
more
Hey,
HBO,
yo.
like those Cinemax, Showtime, those channels are like, oh snap, you could watch, stuff without commercials and stuff like that. It's like,
Yeah, it
what?
was like that was the first time where you could watch cartoons 24/7.
With Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
That was a game changer back then, having cable. And then you could pay-per-view movies for a few bucks. And we
Yeah.
haven't even gotten to the illegal black box stuff yet.
Yeah, to like the chips you put inside and everything.
Yeah.
And it was a lot easier to steal cable back then.
Yeah.
Because they would just send you the signal and you could tamper with the boxes. Now they could tell if you're tampering with stuff.
Yeah, everything is like so monitored now.
Yeah, they don't leave the line open anymore.
Yeah.
They close it. They're like, he closed his service, so is the line closed. You can't even use that as an antenna anymore.
Yeah,
What, for
back then when you
cable?
close it, when you close it, you just connect the wire to the thing.
Wow,
You
I
can
see
see
what you
channels. Yeah.
Do y'all even know anybody that has cable still?
Yeah, we
I don't
do.
think I know. Really?
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that
Oh, yeah,
still
my
has
mom.
it.
My mom has cable.
Yeah, my mom's house,
That's
they have cable
wow. I
still.
feel like
I hear.
streaming is taking over so much. I feel like nobody really has it
You know,
anymore.
but if
you-
if you look at it, you pay more in streaming services than you do in cable.
It depends, cause how much? I don't know how much your mom pays, but the reason why we got rid of it was because they were it was over $200 here, so it was crazy.
Yeah, we had
Yeah, nah,
200.
it's expensive.
We're at
It's
200.
expensive.
We're at
Yeah.
200.
But think
No,
about it.
that's
If you
'cause you
do
got the
streaming
phone and
service,
the-
but that's
cable,
because
right?
we have
phone
the
and internet.
channels. We have the channels. We have the internet. And we have the phone.
oh, that's true. Then I guess, yeah.
But
So
the cable
we
by
at-
itself
we're
is
at
like
200.
$80, I think. I'm not sure. How much is it now?
or 100 and something alone.
You see though, but for older people, there's really not a choice,
Mhm.
right? Because it's like they can't keep up with the technology. Even my in-laws and everything. I think I thought they were a little bit more savvy or whatever when it comes to all this technology, but they just it's a lot easier for them to just turn a cable box on and just to go through the channel.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
imagine you giving someone, you give them, even though you got like Apple TV, you give them the Apple remote and you be like, all right, here, go to YouTube TV. You could go
No,
to the
that's true.
channels. How are they going to put like 1, 2, 3, 4? It doesn't have that anymore on
No,
there.
that's
Yeah,
true.
the channel numbers.
have
Yeah,
to
they
know.
don't. Yep.
Yeah, you got to know how
Bro,
to,
the struggle is
go through
real.
it.
I be getting FaceTimes from my mom, be like, oh, the TV's not working, and it's just that she changed the input on the TV, and I'm like, yo,
That's still a problem.
you know what I'm saying?
That's still a problem in
Yeah,
today's
so
age.
shit like that. Yeah,
When
so
it's just the
it's
input,
just
something
older people.
simple.
It's easier for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's true.
And she tells me that the cable's not working. I'm like, it's not that. Man.
He said, it doesn't work. And
Yeah,
you
it
press
doesn't
something
work.
wrong on the remote.
Esta mierda no sirve.
yeah, especially like if the TV got an update and then it doesn't put it back to the line that it was in. It puts it
Yeah.
back sometimes like factory or something. And then they're like, yeah, the TV don't turn on. What happened?
Especially with the smart
Yeah.
TVs now, they really can't do stuff like that. Like
Yeah,
go
that's
through the
true.
menus of them. Like my mom, she doesn't have a smart TV in the living room. We just got a regular one because it's just with the line to the cable and that's it. The old school way.
It is smart.
Oh, it is? Oh,
Yeah, it is. It's just
Yeah.
I put the feature off to just go straight
yeah.
to the TV for her. So when she
Yeah,
turns
you
it
could-
on, it
you-
goes straight to the line.
There's a feature to go to the last used or whatever, so it
Yeah.
always remembers. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to do that too when I was down there.
yeah.
The only time that it happens to the TV is when it updates. Sometimes it doesn't keep it. It'll throw it to like the Google homepage on it when it turns back on, and then she's like, "What the fuck is the TV thing?"
Yeah. But yeah, you see all this technology around us. Even a big one is the cars, right? Like you remember like the roll up windows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I used to
Oh,
hate
yeah.
those. I
Roll it
hated
up.
those. I hate those.
Is that, hold on a second.
Yo, bro, I remember my first car. It had the roll up windows, and what I thought was pretty cool was it was a piece of shit car, but it was like you got in and the seatbelt got
Oh, it
crossed
moved
it
by
by
itself,
itself.
right? And put it on you?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember those.
The seatbelt was automatic. It was a 1990 Nissan Sentra. And then you got in, and for the passenger and the driver, as soon as you got in, the seatbelt would close on you.
Yeah.
You
What I
remember
want?
when- Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Now, you remember when cars used to have the thing to put your cigarette in? The ash?
Yeah,
Yeah.
The ashtray in the back?
They used
By
to.
the-
They
by the
don't. They
handle?
still have this. They still have the little outlet, but they don't give you that the shit you press in for the cigarette anymore.
Oh, no?
I mean,
Yeah,
you could
I
buy it,
remember
but
It's
it
just for
doesn't
the
come.
outlet. It's just an outlet
comes
now,
in
right?
it comes in plastic.
So
Yeah.
it's-
It has
outlet
it
by
just
itself?
for you could plug in other stuff to it, but the piece that says that it's for smoking is plastic now. It's not where
Yeah,
it
you
gets
flip
hot.
it up. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Before it would have like a cigarette sign, like you'd have the little thing. Yeah.
I was gonna say what I am work is you ever seen those movies where they talk to the Alexa or the Siri and it answers back and they tell them more than what it is or whatever, and they're like, oh, note this and then turn off the light or whatever it is, and like it
Mhm.
responds back to them or whatever. When can we get to those days?
They're
Oh,
what?
because-
That they talk back to you?
Yeah, like what's that movie? Like
Oh,
that
soon.
movie
It's coming
with Ashton
soon.
Kutcher, the one where he goes on a date, like his girlfriend and the father don't like him or whatever, but he got mad money. He's like some famous guy that got mad money, and then he talks to it like that or whatever.
Wait, is that the butterfly
I don't
effect,
know.
right?
More.
No,
That's the only movie I know from Barry.
No,
So
no,
that's-
no.
That's the only movie. And Punked.
hold on, hold on.
Yeah.
Or Just Married or something like that.
Yeah, the one with Bernie Mac.
That's
Yep.
a butterfly effect. That movie was really good too, by the way.
Yeah, he said in punked.
But we got that already. You could tell the lights to
Yeah.
turn on. You could put it on a
Yeah.
schedule.
No, but it's not as advanced as that. Like sometimes you tell it something and then it has no clue what the fuck you're talking about.
yeah, that.
Yeah,
That's-
Or it's
that's
like, oh, I
technology
can't do
theory,
that.
though.
Yeah. But like,
Yeah, service is
but
unavailable.
like even cell phones back then to have a cell phone was a luxury because it was really
Yeah.
expensive. It was for people with
Yo,
businesses and stuff like that. It's not
you
for
remember
the average person.
you had like
Two-way
500
pager.
day minutes, then you had unlimited minutes after 9 p.m. and
Yeah.
it's just like yo, you
And
gotta
then it
wait
was
all the
after
way to 9.
7. And then remember you had to
Yeah.
like pay for a text message too, which was
Yo,
It was
yeah,
crazy.
nobody
for
texts,
text
but then
message.
Nobody texted you.
But then again, to send the text message, it was like the long way. Like you had to like
Yeah.
ABC was 2, DEF
Yes.
was 3, like that. So it was
That's
take
because
mad long
we
just
had
to
AIM
send
to
a text.
communicate. We didn't really have to text. We was always on the computer using AIM. And
I like
Yeah.
that was our
the name of the
texting back
movie
then.
is called Why Him.
What? Nah, I never seen that.
Yeah, I never seen
No, I
that.
never
Yeah,
seen that
it's
neither.
comedy.
Neither has
It's
he.
funny.
Yeah, right? I don't even think Ashton Kutcher seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't show up at the premiere.
No, it's not
Yeah.
Ashton Kutcher. My fault. It's the other guy. The guy from
The other white guy.
yeah, they both white. That he's in
James Franco?
yes,
Nicholas
Is it
Cage.
really?
that bum.
It's a Nicolas Cage.
No, James Franco.
Okay.
Or like put it like this, like how in Halo Kitana is, something like that.
That's some sort of AI thing.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, like
Is that
Can
the
we-
thing that says, I bet you can't stick it, Master Chief?
Yeah,
what?
it is with the sticky grenade.
Oh yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
That's for part 2. Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, so and then what was it? Spotify came on and like took over.
Yeah,
Like, you
I
never
think
need
they
Apple Music
got their
or Net-
idea from the Nets
Netscape. I never
it?
downloaded from Netscape or Kazaa or LimeWire. I'm letting y'all know.
Nah, you lying. You
You
lying.
lying.
Don't come
You
following
lying.
me. If
You
I
they got the
definitely
idea
lying.
from
the
them.
window, yes,
That's
yes.
where they got the idea from. Like, oh, how about we give them access to it, but they don't download it? How it started, because now you could download it for offline or whatever. But at the time, it was you just stream it and that's it. You don't have to download it or whatever.
No, you play the
You used to
MP3s.
wait.
It was the MP3s.
Used to wait
Nah,
2
bro.
hours for a 3-minute song.
Word. We used to be in this dude's house and on Napster on the chat while everything was downloading
Yeah, just to burn time.
to burn CDs. Yeah.
And to download a movie, that shit took like 2 weeks
Oh yeah,
Oh,
nah.
yeah,
And then nobody could call you because they kicks you
on the
offline.
dial-up. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was a struggle back then. The dial-up thingy.
Yeah, it was
The
crazy.
AOL, and it says welcome.
Yeah. You've got mail.
Like, you got mail.
Yo, I still know people that have AOL emails.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have. That's what I use.
I was talking about
But-
you.
But that's like my secondary one. You know
I
what's
know,
my
I know.
you know what's my main one that I still use to
Hotmail.
this day?
Yahoo,
The
probably
Netscape.
Yahoo,
No,
or
the
Hotmail,
Netscape.
MSN.
Netscape.
Netscape.
Yeah, I still use Hotmail.
That's crazy.
Yo, bro, when I first
That's
got
my
my
main.
first email was through Univision.
Oh
That
shit!
was my mom got my computer through Channel 41. That's how she got me my first computer as a gateway.
You have
me
Gmail,
too, I had a
right?
It was
gateway, too.
NNBX at univision.com. Yeah,
I definitely had a gateway too. That was my first computer.
A gateway. You had
Yeah.
a gateway, right? Yeah.
a
yeah, I had
gateway.
one,
that.
yeah.
For me, the other invention that thank God they made was the wireless headphones.
The
Yeah,
Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bluetooth ones. Oh, so better than with wires like these.
Yeah, that is true.
When you're walking outside, you don't have to worry about it, or getting on your coat or sweater or whatever, and it dangles out and it falls out because of that.
What was it? Everybody
they
had
also-
the Beats headset.
It was a game changer too, the Beats.
Back
Yeah, I
then?
remember that.
for mine,
Well,
for
Apple
me, the
bought them.
game changer is the whole noise canceling
Yeah,
feature.
Yeah,
Yep.
that too.
You know, back then there was
I
no
go to
noise
work
canceling or
morning.
nothing. You
go,
can hear
go
it.
to work. I don't want to hear nobody. Yeah, you got. Yeah. You have to have the music mad loud, and I don't necessarily like to have it too loud because then you get distracted a little bit.
Yeah.
the other thing that evolved with times is mostly just with electronics. Is nobody really records anything on TV anymore.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
you don't have to.
That's true too.
Yeah.
You either have to buy it or you have to pay to watch it online. Well, you can watch it for free, but you have like a million ads before you watch it. But
You can-
it's
and it's
go on
illegal,
YouTube.
but
You know,
it's
one day
illegal,
we
but
just recorded something. We never knew that was the last thing we would ever record.
yeah,
Which is crazy.
was
But
pretty-
honestly, if you have like a Hulu Live, you can still like record stuff.
Yeah.
It's just
But
like stored
yours.
on
It's just
that.
not yours.
yeah, it's just stored,
It's
but it's not
exactly.
yours.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not yours for good. You're right about that. It's not.
Yeah. It's like as long as you pay for the service, you could watch it offline.
That's true.
Yeah. So nothing. Everything is like borrowed now. You don't own nothing
Yeah.
now. Games you barely even own now.
That's true too.
So yeah.
All right, to move this along, what are your final thoughts, or what are your final say on this subject of old technologies? Do you think it has gone for the better on some of them, or do you think it's gotten worse?
I'll start it off. I think it's going for the better. You know, as far as like stuff that we deal with every day, like cars. I remember back in the day, if you wanted to be a cab driver, or you know, you had a car, you had to know where you were going. And I remember back in the day going on MapQuest and printing out papers to get somewhere. Now cars come equipped with GPS, or you could use your phone. You can't get, if you get lost today
These
in
days,
these
yeah.
days is yeah. You know, I don't know what to tell
You
you.
could get
man.
anywhere
Like,
now.
you
You
know
can
what I'm
go
saying?
anywhere.
Yeah, you really
Yeah.
could.
Back then, we were like,
So
I don't know how to get over there.
Technology in that part. I just started doing this thing with my wife where you know, sometimes we go out with the baby or whatever, and it's kind of like you worry, like you start to think, oh, are they okay? I haven't heard from them for a while. Now you actually got apps that you can see where they're at. You know what I'm saying? That they're good.
The location.
Like pinpoint.
their
The
location.
location. You can pinpoint them and stuff like that. I keep coming back to the cars because of all the safety features. Like there's features that tell you somebody's next to you, or if you're like if you're not in the middle of the lane and you're swerving off, the car will move itself back into the lane, which is fucking crazy. The music, like TV wise, you could pretty much, if you want to watch something, you could watch it. Like, you know, if there's a movie suggestion or anything, you could just watch it instantly. Internet speeds is ridiculous. It's kind of like everything is on demand pretty much. It's just like what we're doing, like Instacart or whatever. You don't even got to go get out of your house anymore. They bring it to your door, like Amazon. Like Amazon, I think it's good in a way. It's like you don't even got to go physically out anymore. Like you could get whatever you want and then you get it tomorrow. Like, which is fucking crazy. Like that's why a lot of people get addicted to like shopping with Amazon and stuff like that. So I think it's going for the better in one way, but then in another way, it's making us lazier. You know, like I have Wi-Fi lights in my room. I could tell Alexa turn my lights off, and you know, my computer, whatever, I have the heat on Wi-Fi, so I could turn everything off. But at the same time, it makes you lazy.
Bro, you don't
I
even got
was
to do
working
grocery shopping anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like I was doing housework
crazy.
the other day, and I was sore for like 2 days. I was because it's like, you know, you're not getting that
And you like, you
physicality
could've-
in anymore.
You could have picked some people up from Home Depot and had them do it for you.
I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying. I was telling my wife, like, yo, I'm tired of mowing the fucking lawn. Even though I got a lawnmower, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna get somebody to mow the lawn. But then it's just like, you know, you got to get up and do something, right?
Just don't wear any sweater that has the word ice on it.
All right.
Shit.
Be like, yo, if you don't come mow my lawn, I'm taking you with me. But yeah,
Nah,
that's
so,
what I think about that.
I would say I agree with you, Mello. I think it's a double-edged sword. I do think the more advanced we get, the more convenient things get for us, but you know, the more dangerous too, because you're right. Like people are super lazy. Like I said, people don't even grocery shop for themselves. They rarely go out if they have to. You could get food delivered right to your door.
It's like human
That's-
interaction
no,
has
that's-
disappeared ever since technology took over.
Exactly. So,
That's because
So-
it's the people themselves that make it happen.
And now
They're the
people have
ones who
shorter
become more lazy. Like they abuse
attention
it.
spans.
Like they abuse it.
Yeah, but even now,
100%.
right? So if I was to call any one of y'all like tomorrow, you guys will look at your phone and be like, "Oh shit, something happened." Because it's like usually you send the text, right? But if I call you,
You
nah,
like, oh, I get, yeah,
a
that's
whole-
true.
It's an emergency or something.
Yeah, that's-
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
true.
there's another level. And it's like, yo, what's up? And like you answer like, yo, what's up? And it's like, nah, I'm just calling to talk to you.
Back
So
then,
what's up?
phones were to make phone calls. Text was second.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It
if
was
you
just to
wasn't
talk.
home-
It was just to talk. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yo.
yeah, because nowadays you're like, yo, why am I gonna call just to tell them like 2 little words or something, or to
That's
just be
true,
like,
too.
yo,
You
what
know
up?
what's
What are you up
crazy?
to?
I was thinking about back in the day before the cell phones. If I'm gonna, let's say I tell Chad, I'm gonna meet him at 52nd Street. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna be there at 3:00 in the afternoon. But if I'm not there, you go ahead and you waiting for me, and I can't just call you like, yo, because you don't got a phone.
I'm running late.
And like, I'm
That's
running late. Or I'm not
true.
gonna make it, yo. Like, let's forget about this. I'm like, fuck, because you're not home.
You have
so
to
then,
make
you know,
it.
you gotta wait.
You gotta make it. You're right.
Yeah, or I'm running an hour late and then you're already leaving. I go there and you're not there. I'm like, then I think you don't make it. So I don't
That's
know. It was
true.
just, it was hard back then. But it was
Or
normal.
you like, you don't even know where the person is at. Like,
yeah,
I'm like,
yo,
oh,
I've been
you
trying to
meet me
reach you
at
all day.
40
You haven't been home?
Exactly. Or you like, oh, meet me at 59th. I'm like, I get there. I'm like,
You have
you
to-
could be
you have to
somewhere
have the
totally
pager.
different. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, where the hell are you at? You know, so it's like crazy, like you said.
You had to be there at the time when you meet up with somebody like
Yeah.
then. You had to. Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, because you just had the payphones
Yeah.
to do to call. But then if they're not home because they left to meet you, then it's just
Yeah.
emptiness.
Yeah, unless you never went there and you called me and I already had left.
Yeah. Any final thoughts, Wilson?
On tech, it's been a while. I feel like we came from an era.
Where we did everything ourselves.
Yeah, we basically did everything ourselves. We explored everything, and everything is just easy mode, I guess you could say.
Yep.
But we have come a long way. But I feel like we have hit a wall when it comes to technology, because we should have been way ahead. We should have been a lot further than we are now. I feel like there's too much greed when it comes to these things, and that's also stopping a lot of technological progression, you know, and it just sucks. But I am happy that we grew up in an era where we got to enjoy those things back then and see where they are now.
We got, you know, we got the experience on both sides.
Yeah.
Before and
Yeah,
after
we did.
There's
tech took over.
to that point, there definitely feels like there's like we're stagnant, right? Like that we haven't had a big leap,
big
like from
breakthrough.
us growing up, from not having cell phones, from not having cell phones to not having like these, we could talk FaceTime like we're talking right now. It's you know what I'm saying? Like it's really slow. Like think about New York City, right? We don't have any fast rail trains like in Japan and stuff like that. If you
What,
think
the
about
bullet
it, we
trains?
really, yeah, we're not.
But that's
New York City is not living up to par.
that's
But I think-
because
Yeah.
they got bad management of money. They never up.
No,
they
but
up-
I'm just
they-
saying.
they just give me more money and
But
raise up
it-
the
it-
prices.
Yeah, but I'm just talking in general, like the technology, like
Yeah,
you know, like
the tech
anywhere.
itself.
It's just not.
Yeah,
It's
because they
just
don't
not
invest.
in New York City.
Yeah,
like
they don't
anywhere
invest
in the
in it.
some
U.S.
cities and some other
'Cause-
countries prosper better than us because the United States is full of greedy fucks.
It's kind of like
Capitalism,
when the U.S. bring the Nazis over, like, you know, after everything happened, they bring the scientists over. The Nazis were like 10, 15 years ahead of us in technology. That's why they bring them over and they pardon everything. It's like they do that on purpose. They want you to be dependent on, you know, we're just going to give you enough so that you're still dependent, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, to his point, that made a good point.
Even to this day, most of our technology is Korean, Japan, and China. All our major
they even
electronics come from over there. Just till recently,
even
our
said that-
chips is probably going to start coming from over here.
Yeah, it's in China, I think like they got something better than 5G. I think 6G. Like the internet is crazy over there. Like I haven't been, but I've heard, you know.
Yeah, some of our our routers have the 6 on it, but we don't utilize it.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is there's these under 20 kids or whatever that don't know what's life without a tablet. They think that thing has always existed, or the phones has always been like this. They never lived in a time where there was nothing to do, just sitting down all day. What they do now, just swipe,
Bro.
swipe.
And that's why the sports,
Bro,
every sports is struggling, and every sport is with mediocre players nowadays.
Not only sports, it's all just ethics
everywhere.
as
It's
well.
all
just everywhere.
fields.
It's
It's all
math,
everywhere.
it's studies.
I don't think people are smarter
everything.
now than they were back then.
No, people
They're
are a
not.
lot dumber. People are a lot
Yep.
dumber than what they are.
But
Yo,
but that
when you
also
wanna
goes
do
to
what
show
you do.
too what you guys were talking about in terms of like tech, like what Wilson was saying and Mello too. Like I don't know if y'all seen it, but there's a teacher that recently came out that just quit, and she was talking about
reading?
how she was
Yes,
talking about how
It's on them.
the students now are so stupid because they can't even read. Like they just go online and have chat
It
ChatGPT.
reads it for them,
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
AI
to
read it
them,
for them.
or AI does everything for them, so they don't even have to use their brains. Like they just all you have to do is know how to turn on a computer
Yeah.
or use a tablet or a phone. So
That shit sucks because if you take all that
it's
shit away,
dangerous, man.
they're fucking done. They're
exactly,
they're
they don't know
special.
what to do. Exactly,
Bro,
they don't know
straight,
what to do.
It's,
straight
um,
smooth brain.
I don't know if I
Crazy.
told y'all this before, but I work
No
in the
wrinkles.
utility, right?
Yeah.
I work in electric utility, and sometimes we go survey when there's big storms and there's no power. So we'll go door to door to see what's up. These people don't care that they don't have power. What they care about is that they don't have internet. And it's just like,
See?
well,
Which is crazy.
that's what they care about, bro. And it's like the 90%, like you go and be like, oh, yeah, I got power. Yeah, we got power, but we don't got internet. I was like, all right, that's not, you know, I can help you with that. But it's just like you're more concerned about not having internet than power.
which
It's
is
like
crazy.
that's fucking
Like-
crazy.
Back then, is that they should just ban the phones during school hours in
Yeah.
schools, and their parents is like,
Yo,
oh,
back
how
then they used to
supposed
take your
reach
phone.
me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it took them.
it's like how they supposed to
Mhm.
reach? How's my kid supposed to reach me in case of emergency? What we used to do, they used to go to
The same way
school's office
back
or
in
the
the
office
day.
and they go to
Exactly.
your house. That's the way it was
Exactly.
back
Yep.
then.
Yo,
Like,
back
that's
in
no
the
different.
day when I was in high school, the kids used to have to pay the people at the corner store to hold their phones for them, like because they were not allowed in the school. Which is like you said, Harry. People say now, like, oh, how am I supposed to reach my kid? Like, if you need to reach your kid bad enough, like call the principal's office. They'll call
Yes.
your kid down.
Yeah,
Your kid will come
Yeah.
down, and then
Yeah.
we'll talk.
That's
to
the
your,
way it
we'll talk
was
to your kid.
back then.
Yeah. So it's
Or
like
go to
crazy
school and
now.
pick them up.
Exactly. If it's that
If it's
crazy,
an emergency
yeah.
or something, yeah.
Yeah.
Or,
it's like
or
crazy.
the kid's
man.
in trouble, they'll call the parent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just they
It's
should
like
just
crazy,
ban
man.
them in school. That's the problem because I'm pretty sure they're using them even while they're in class.
Oh, 100%.
Oh yeah, definitely, bro. Definitely. I know people that is just like
That's why it's just
Texting me
everything
while
is
they in
messed up
class.
now. The school education thing
is.
is whole messed up
And I
now.
believe that teacher too. I think a lot of these kids
Yeah.
can't read. They don't know how to do math. Like, because
Don't-
like you said, they
it's
don't
soon
have to
gonna
do
be
it.
fixed.
They don't have to do it.
It's soon
Yeah,
gonna be
they-
fixed. Don't worry.
Linda McMahon's gonna fix it, bro.
Yeah.
Man,
She's gonna lay
They-
the smack down on the
They're like, why are you
She
closing the
said-
board of ed? You
Department of
closing the
Education.
board of ed. Our kids are gonna suffer. Bitch, they're already fucking suffering. They can't even read. What are you talking about? You had all these years and all that money, and you still didn't do shit for them. So cut your law down.
now.
Bring up a new shit.
She gonna hit the high schools with the Stone Cold Stunner.
Word. Start teaching them wrestling. Word.
Alright, so back to topic. But yeah, it is what it is.
All right. Any more thoughts?
Yo, they
Nah,
say
that's
that you seen the aliens that's us in the future. That's why they look like that. That's my last thought right there, bro.
So somewhere
For
out
real,
there,
bro.
All right. So
They got
whoever want to close that episode, close it out.
Well, thanks for listening, and and like and subscribe. Like, let us know what you want us to chat about. We'll talk about a few topics that y'all might be interested in, or we'll just remix it up like we always do. Thanks, and good night.
Yeah, leave your phone number. We'll give you a call.
Yeah.
Get you a ring.
Cheesemamas.com. So who cheese mamas?